Hail, hail, and welcome to A Celtic World North America. We are part of the Celtic World YouTube channel. On our show, we try to bring a little bit of the North American perspective to the happenings at Celtic. So this week we had a visit to Rugby Park, not to play Kilmarnock, but sixth-tier side Auchinleck Talbot, who I'd never heard of before we played them. But another brutal watch in a season full of brutal watches. But in the end, we advance, and I guess that's all that matters. So tomorrow we got Bologna in Europe, and then a massive match at Tynecastle on Sunday against the league leaders. So in 2 weeks, we'll be having a big party here in Philly, and we'll be talking plenty about that tonight as well. So let me jump into introductions. First things first, Chris, how we doing?
We're getting ready for the cold.
Yeah, dude, it's been cold here, man. I woke up this morning, it was asked Alexa what the weather was, and it was 2 degrees outside, so it was fucking brutal.
Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Fahrenheit.
2 degrees Fahrenheit, yes. And then first time on the show, and I always said, like, Seamus from Féile, the Plough Bhoys, he is probably my first Celtic pal, I would call him, the first person I really ever met following Celtic. So welcome to the show, Seamus. It's good to have you on.
Thanks for having me, Chris and Sean. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been trying to get you on for a while, and I know it's tough making schedules work, but so we're definitely wanted to get you on before we before the Plough or the Féile at the Plough in 2 weeks. So figured this was perfect timing, and I guess first things first, and we kind of do this with every time we have a first time guest on, how you started following Celtic. Everybody's got a different story. I know, like, me and Chris are kind of in a similar boat. Other people kind of grew up with it more.
Yeah.
Family history involved. So where did you start?
Yeah, I started as a family thing for me. Like, really started when I was a teenager. We would watch the games on, at the time we could get some games on ESPN. I remember days being younger with, like, grandfather and uncles, like, sitting around transistor radio in the kitchen in my grandmother's house in Philadelphia, listening for just the scores to come in, and then the occasional, anytime we played Rangers, they could get the game on the shortwave radio, which was really neat thing to sit and watch when we were kids, just watching the interactions of the uncles sitting around the table. But it really, for me, 17 years old, I really got into Celtic, and also my Irishness per se. It was always around us, but I really got into it when I was in around 17 years old. So we started going and watching games. We went to college at Westchester in Pennsylvania. And at that time, this is when the launch of the internet started, and Celtic had a website, and chat groups began popping up, like different Celtic chat groups. And I saw in one of the chat groups that there was a place to watch the games not far from where I went to university. So shot an email to the person's email that was on the chat group, and I got an instant response, like within a day or so. And it was James Connie from Féile, he was one of the founding members of the Mon Maguire Celtic Supporters Club, which is the first Celtic Supporters Club in the Philadelphia area. He said, "Oh, we show every game at Paddy Rooney's Pub in Havertown, PA. Come along." So started going to the games when I was in college, graduated college, got my first teaching job, and was like a fixture at every match, as many as we could make, And then I eventually worked my way onto that committee. I was elected on that committee. We served on that committee till the club, unfortunately, folded in 2010. So we were like a couple years without a home, without a club in 2010. And then in 2013, we started the Plough Bhoys, John, Joe, myself, and a few other guys. So, and here we are. We just celebrated it. We're now in our 13th year as the Plough Bhoys. So we're loving life.
Yeah.
And we have one heck of a party coming up here in a few weeks.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that later. That's like always one of the best weekends of the year. But I mean, I got my start at Patty Rooney's. I wasn't there like a ton, but a handful of times, and that was my first time really. I think probably the first time I met you was
Yeah, it
there
was at
briefly.
Rooney's. Yeah.
And just weird things where I actually ran into my college roommate there watching a match, who and like throughout college. I mean, he was his dad was from Glasgow, his mom was from Donegal, and he was a diehard Celtic fan. But I just didn't pick up on it then, and like it's one of my like huge regrets, like that I didn't like get that extra time, with the club. Like I could have been following Celtic back in 1993, 1994, but didn't really find them until 2005. So I guess I was stubborn in that regard. But
Yeah, well,
but yeah, go
you
ahead.
guys, you both know, growing up in the States that, unless you don't have that, soccer isn't a big thing here in the States. It hasn't been until probably like the last 15 years or so. But like growing up, unless you had, Irish or Scottish parents or grandparents, um, you wouldn't have known about Celtic. The way things are now, the world is as close as the world's in your hand all day long. So I just can't imagine what it would have been like as a 17-year-old with these kind of devices back then, and how the club would have been so much more than, from afar. Yeah, we went to Celtic Park I got to go when I was a young adult many, many times. Got to spend a lot of time there. I'm sure I told you this story. I would leave, I'd fly out of Newark on a Friday night or a Thursday night. I'd fly into Glasgow on a Friday or a Saturday morning, see Celtic play, and I'd be back on the plane Sunday, flying back to the States. I did that multiple times, back and forth. A few times I was asked if I got deported, but because I was like there for, they're like, you just landed. I said, came over to see Celtic. So, it's been a big part of who I am for a long period. I'm 53 now. I started this journey when I was really 17. I knew like when I was younger, but like really started being a diehard at 17. And here I am at 53, 3 boys who are diehard Celtic supporters. So I think I did my job there. So hopefully they'll continue to pass that down the line as we go on. But, the 3 of us, we have a long history together.
Absolutely.
We all, Sean and I, of course, met back at Rooney's. Chris, we met at, I guess, our first Féile face to face. We talked before that, and you've been to the Féiles multiple times. I've been down to, you met us in Atlanta. That was a while ago, 2012, 2013, something like that.
Something like that.
Give or take, and you've been up here multiple times, and we've gotten to do a lot of things together, Celtic supporters. And no, I don't care what other people say. There is no club or no fan base like this one.
Amen.
In the world. So, and for anyone who's out there listening that has never come to a Celtic event in the US, the Féile, people come from all over the globe, literally to have a piss up in a pub in Philadelphia and sing and celebrate all things Celtic. It's just mind-blowing the first time you come and see it. It's so special.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said before, and similar to other, like it's almost like when Celtic comes over here to play in a friendly, you get that kind of crowd, like in a bar, just to hang out and watch the match. There's music built in around it. In recent years, we get former players, to have little Q&As, and there's always events around it, whether it's like an author coming to talk about his book, or like we'll have Tony Hamilton coming to talk about the Celtic Foundation. There's so many events built around it, and we talked about it beforehand. Like you end up sitting in the same bar for 15 hours straight, which gets a little rough, but it's true. It's a piss up for the entire weekend, and it's always
magic.
my favorite. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I look forward to it.
Yeah,
whenever
it's magic.
it comes out.
It's magic.
But yeah, and it's a great bar, like, and the great people, and like you said, Seamus, like, there's people people coming over from Ireland and Scotland, and we get John Neeson from Hawaii comes, a lot of years. The guys come down from Canada, from Detroit, all over the place. California, you get some of the LA crew. Like, it's a great mix of people, and we could, like I said, we're digging into it already because I think we're so excited to talk about it.
Yeah, we're all excited about it. I mean,
we could probably do the entire show on that, but
yes.
Well, let's get the other stuff out of the way so we can dig into that. But so, like I said at the start, like, we had a cup tie against sixth tier Auchinleck Talbot at Rugby Park, and you're kind of hoping for one to see, and I didn't get a pick of the lineup, but see some changes, so you get to see some of the guys on the bench you really haven't got to see, and maybe they get some confidence, and you can build on that and have something going forward. I mean, it did not happen that way, and like I said, it was just another just hard game to watch, and never really felt like it was in doubt, like we were gonna lose, but that's a game you needed to put 5 goals in and win comfortably, and it wasn't comfortable. So I don't know. I'll go to you, Chris. What was your thoughts on the match?
Well, so I think to begin with, there were a lot of noticeable changes in the lineup. A lot of players that I felt probably needed to be getting a little bit more time. It was good to see Stephen Welsh back. I was excited about what we were capable of, but I mean, the first 10 minutes told me everything I needed to know, which was, we can't finish in that final third. I mean, there's how many chances did we hit the crossbar? Did we, put a ball across and nobody was there, or whatever? And like you said, it was a tough watch. And in a season of tough watches, I mean, just getting a result is good enough, So I was cautiously optimistic, I think, going into it, that we would get a result and there wouldn't be any issues. But I mean, yeah, it was sloppy play. We did have most of the possession. So, I mean, in one respect, that was pretty good. That told me that we were in control. But, at the end of the day, I mean, it was frustrating, but just getting the to move on in the cup, that's all that you really ask for. So, I think I'm really taking more of the approach of some players that haven't been getting any time got a lot more time. And, it was just a training exercise. So, I mean, whether that's a reset, I don't know, but, that's kind of how I'm looking at it.
No, I mean, you're right. And you did get to see the back four were comfortable. It was all, bringing Welsh back and Murray. I haven't seen Murray in a few weeks. So those guys were comfortable. I think it just came down a lot again to the one, we're just not creating a lot of chances, and two, those chances that we do create, we're just not taking them or even coming close. And we're just having Kenny as your number one striker, and he did have a goal and probably should have had a second one. And we can talk about that offside. And again, I think that was one of those offside calls where they're almost guessing on the lines. Like the technology is just not good enough to take away that goal for me. We've seen that in the past, and we saw it again. I think on that one.
I mean, like FIFA 26 does a better job of calling offsides. I mean, it like all of it's just kind of a joke, but I think the word that I would use for Sunday was stagnant. We were just stagnant. There wasn't a whole lot of desire. There wasn't a whole lot of, we're trying to do X, Y, and Z. It just I'm stagnant. It's the only word that I can really think of. Is just, not being creative and not really going for it and whatever. So,
Agreed. Seamus, how about you? What was your thoughts?
Yeah, it was interesting because we were there, and I was sitting with two youth academy coaches that were in town for a soccer coaches convention, like international coaches convention, and we were a little bit just a little gobsmacked at the fact that it was so poor against sixth division side who some of the players we played against were going to go to a 9 to 5 or bricky or cutting hair the next day or being a barman the next day, and they held their own against us for 90 minutes. I mean, we just couldn't score. We weren't creative. But at the end of the day, we won. We got through. Martin O'Neill just wills these players to win. And if we can get some reinforcements here soon, hopefully before Sunday, I think it'll go a long way in us hopefully making a title charge here at the end of the season. But this has been unlike anything that I've ever seen as a Celtic supporter. This is when we talk about the dark days of the 90s. This season's pretty awful up to now. And if we can win the league this year, think about this. If we can win the league this year with what we've gone through as a support and as a club and as a team, and can win the league, just imagine how bad that's going to hurt the Hearts and Hun supporters, like how hard that's going to be for them, because there's never going to be a better opportunity for another team to win the league than this year, because I can't see us being that dire ever again. Hopefully
you would think. I mean, the way this and we've talked about in almost every show, like the collapse of what Celtic was from when Alphonso Davies scored in the whatever right at the death against us in Munich till now is almost criminal. And I've said it before, like it's what they've allowed to happen, I feel like, is criminal. And who was on, I think Bobby or Jason last week mentioned Kairat Almaty, and like I'm like, this season, like that was brutal in and of its own right. You almost forget that like that was this season, like, and we've gotten worse. Like I feel like even since then in some of our performances. So it's COVID season, like kind of that Lenny ball that's just not fun to watch. But almost this is worse. I feel like we're a worse team this year. So it's
losing Kyogo last year and not being replaced, losing Adamita and not being replaced, and going into a campaign with a striker who has really never proven himself. And you have to see again, we went out and got a free who's been on the treatment table for the most. Kalechi's been on the treatment table since he came for the most part. I would love to see him get a proper run out. But going into this season without proper reinforcements, Nicholas Kuhn, we lost him. He wasn't replaced. We can go on and on and on about the players that we've lost in recent season and they haven't been replaced, or they were replaced with projects. That is just not how to run a club or, a business. All we want is results. You sign for this club, you play for this club, you're involved in this club. You just want to win. And that should be first and foremost. And we haven't done that. So it's just going to be, what kind of investment are they going to be willing to make to improve the team enough to maybe get us over that line. I'm hopeful, but we got to be realistic as well. It would take a huge turn of events for us to come back and be able to win this league. Now we're only 6 points behind at this point, and we have to play Hearts 2 more times. But if we can get a win on Sunday, hopefully that will springboard things. Especially they're coming off a rough cup loss, so the only thing that we have is we have the game match tomorrow in Bologna, and we have all that travel involved. But if we can get this new striker over the line, hopefully tomorrow, because I was expecting that to be done today. And has anything been announced prior to this call? I didn't see anything. So if we can get that over the line, having a 6'3" striker, who brings some pace and height and some power, hopefully we'll have somebody who could be a target man who we haven't had since Ida left. So
absolutely,
we'll see.
Yeah, and like you said, bringing in projects all the time, I think, and even this guy, it's projects or guys who are trying to kind of get their careers back, which
and that's what this is.
Yeah, he was doing was scoring goals for Sparta Prague, and went to Germany, and then was loaned out a couple times, and really hasn't had a lot of goals over the last few years. Like that's the player we're in for these days. And it's frustrating, like especially and that's when you see like all the protests against the board. When you see those financial numbers that the club releases, and you got all that money in the bank, and then you're bringing in a loan from MLS, who I think is a decent player, and then the guy from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and I forget what his name is already, but
Tomas.
Yeah,
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I probably said it wrong, but I mean that's.
But he was starting. He was starting for them up until he got an injury, and then once you get an injury, and then trying to work yourself back in the team, he was coming in off the bench. He wasn't getting time. You all know we've all played football, and if you don't play and you lose your position, and trying to get back out there and get back into the starting team is very, very difficult.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him, because I think he's an upgrade from Kenny, what we have, and then if you get Iheanacho back, which I think in the comments Alan said you've seen him in training. Is he ready to go? But then you're worried, is he how many games is he going to play before he is back on the training table? So that's, I think, a bright spot to be able to bring in a new striker, and like hopefully he comes in here with the right attitude, it's not the I'm coming to the Scottish League and I'm going to boss it automatically, and not put in the work, which you do see sometimes, and to be able to deal with the pressure of playing in Glasgow, where you have to win every match, and particularly now that you're 6 points behind in the league, which is very odd spot for us to be in over the last 15 years. So I'm excited to see him.
Yep. And we still have plenty of season to go in order to claw back. But
as frustrating as it has been a season, as I feel like I'm negative a lot of times on here, I still feel like we were going to win the league, which is crazy. And like you said, Seamus, that's gonna fucking kill Hearts fans, probably particularly that,
Albert Kidd all over again for them. If it's, you know what I mean, it could very well be Helicopter Sunday, maybe 3 ways. Who knows? Hopefully we can claw back and get even, and maybe get ahead somehow. Nothing's impossible. Regardless, we're all going to wake up at the end of the season a Celtic supporter, and next year we go again. But I really wanted, I would never have seen this collapse after, like, I knew after we lost the cup final to Aberdeen how hard that was, but to go back into come into this season ill prepared is like you said, is criminal. It's criminal. It's beyond belief.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still astonished that we're in the place we're at. Like, and we put out a weakened side over the weekend, but I mean, our first team isn't, a whole hell of a lot better than what we put out there on Sunday, and we kind of needed some of those first team guys to come on and get us that goal to put it away. And Tenecti's goal, I'll give him credit. That was a
Mhm.
beauty.
Oh,
And he
absolutely.
hasn't really done that, which is not, which is good to see. Like I think he's a creative guy and like can get around players, but then doesn't really get that even the assist. And maybe that's not on him all the time. I think our strikers and other wingers and guys who are just not making those correct runs when he does get those crosses. Because he does get to the byline a lot, Tenecti, and able to get a cross in. But that goal was beauty. So I'll
It
give him
was.
credit
It
for that.
was. And we needed it because up to then everybody's nerves were
Totally.
all the boys and girls that were in the pub at the Plough on Sunday. Everybody was nervous until we got that second goal because we had seen that same story happening under for Nancy for weeks. You knew it was coming. You just knew it was coming, and Martin's influence and Fozzie's influence and Sean Maloney's influence and the confidence they instill in these players is amazing. And if somehow, again, if we were to win this league, Martin O'Neill's the manager of the season, no doubt.
Has to be.
100%. And then I'll give one mention to Kenny's, and I mentioned it on the offside call that I disagreed with, but Kenny's goal that was disallowed, also a beauty. Very Jota-esque. Like I remember that one against the Rangers where he little dink over the keeper after a little crossfield long ball. So if he can do stuff like that, I mean, be it he is playing against a sixth tier side there. So to be to do it against Scottish Premier League teams, haven't seen him do anything like that. He's gotten the few odd tap in goals.
He's a full Irish international at this point too. I mean, if he can get some confidence going, he might be able to start scoring some goals. But I wouldn't want him to be our main striker.
No,
it's just not tenable.
No, definitely not. So let's move on from the match over the weekend and talk about tomorrow. So we got for us, it's for me and Seamus, it's 12:45. For Chris, it's going to be the 11:45 a.m. kickoff.
Middle of the day.
It's always fun. I love the middle of the day matches, or even those 2:45, 3 o'clock games. It's a good break in the workday, and I end up.
But see,
I'll only be able to listen to it in the office. I can't.
But that's like the afternoon, though, right? Like a 2:45, 3:45 kickoff. That's at least afternoon. 11:45, man. I'm still making calls. I haven't switched over to headphones and being able to listen to my own audio. So I don't know.
Well, I remember back in my old job when I worked down in Horsham, Pennsylvania, which is right next door to the Iron Abbey, which me and Seamus have watched games at the Iron Abbey before. And I would just take a long lunch and go over there for 2 hours and watch Celtic Europe games. And I think I've said before on some of these shows we've done that I actually went back to work probably and was just covering my mouth because I was just smelling like booze. I totally remember watching the when we beat Spartak Moscow away in Champions League. I was sitting there with Vinny, which you guys both know. Just
Legend.
Me and him in the Iron Abbey, the only two people watching that game. And then we lost the feed for the last 5 minutes of the match. I think it was 3-2 it ended up. And me and trying to keep track of the score. And that's when I went back to work, and I worked for Prudential, and the actual CEO of Prudential came to visit us that afternoon. Was going around shaking everybody's hands. I was like, "Hey, nice to meet you." So those kind of things I love. Or just sitting in my, like, I think, like Chris, you said, was it last week? We were dual screening it, both of us. Working for me, half or not working very much, but keeping watching the game. So, like, I love these midweek games, and they're always fun. Seamus, so you don't have the be able to listen to it?
I'll be able to listen
watch?
to it. I won't be able to. No.
So I guess in terms of Chris, what's your expectations for tomorrow away in Bologna?
I mean, I would like to say that we're going to win 2-0 away, right? But I mean, I don't think that our confidence is there. It might be, Martin O'Neill, like Seamus said earlier, is he gets the most out of players, but I'm not expecting much. I'll put it that way. If we get a result, great. If we don't get a result, great. I'm thinking of it as anything that happens past the league or the Scottish Cup is just it's a bonus at this point. So I mean, I expect that Celtic will win every time they play, but that doesn't work either. I mean, I've got too much green tinted glasses sometimes for my own good.
Yeah, agreed. And I'm of the same mindset. The match on Sunday is of way more importance to me. But Seamus, how do you feel?
Yeah, I just want us to go there tomorrow and do our very best and try not to get beat. I would like us to, come without leave Italy without any injuries. That would be devastating with this match on Sunday. Just go there, play our best, maybe a little Martin magic tomorrow. Regardless, just getting out of there with no injuries. Anything else is a bonus going into the weekend because this weekend is massive. We win this, we get a result on Sunday. This could be a springboard. We still have another 2 weeks almost of the transfer window to go, but they better start making players. Start signing players. This is just bonkers.
Time's running out on that, but I'll put up Strangelove's comment, and it's true. Like our record in Italy isn't great. We did have good results against Lazio, excuse me, a few years ago. But I watched Bologna over the weekend. I forget they were playing Fiorentina, and they look. They didn't look very good that day, but I know they've been playing well, particularly in Europa. So I think it's anything we get out of this match is gravy. Kind of like it's just, we'll take whatever I can get. And like you said, Seamus, no injuries, I think is the probably the most important thing to come out of it, and to have as full a strength side on Sunday as we can, because Hearts are going to be missing a few very important guys, and like Shankland, and I think Devlin is supposedly out too, and then Beningame is on card suspension, and I know I feel like those two guys, Devlin and Beningame, are almost more important than Shankland. They're always just killing us in the midfield, cutting everything apart for us, and dominating in the center of the park. So we'll see what happens, but again, we'll get back to the Hearts preview next. I don't know, like lineup wise, we'll probably go back to what we saw last week, I would think.
I would think
you're not going to get, I think, much of a change off of what we saw from there. Midfield, I'm thinking like Engels, McGregor, Hatate. I don't know. Like, other than that, I think a lot of the side kind of picks itself with Yang and Dyson and probably Tenecti up front. I don't know. What thoughts on Chris? What do you think about like the midfield and forward roles?
I mean, if it was me picking, I would probably go McGregor, Ingles. I mean, just because I like him, Bernardo. I feel like Rio Hattati has lost a step this season. I don't think his passes have been good. He looks slow on the ball. I don't know that there's much. I don't know what's hindering him more than anything else. I mean, Rio is. I mean, he's such a good player when he is in the mood for it, But Negrin's a good shout. I would probably take him.
I forgot about Negrin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were used to having like 8 midfielders played when Nancy was the manager. So I mean, it's easy to miss one when we go back to a regular midfield. But Negrin probably.
He's been our best scorer. So he's got to be one of the top people on the team sheet.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
But I don't know that Rio is fitting into the squad at the moment. And I don't know why. That's a big mystery to me. So if anybody knows, let me know.
I really like to see Calmac this season has been off it all season as well.
He has.
That's definitely.
So I don't know if he's carrying something. He's still very fit. Something's definitely all out of sorts. So, and I have a strong suspicion that him and Nancy weren't on the same page, and maybe it's just a matter of him getting, back his stuff under Martin O'Neill. I'm hoping he's a captain and he's got to step up. I mean, he's really never let us down. So I'm sort of hoping that we see that tide turn for him as well in the next few matches. He's so important to the squad.
Yeah. I cannot resist putting this comment up from Sligo Boy in terms of our performance in Italy. Which is very true. Before we move on to, I guess, more into the Hearts match, I'm going to play a little clip of we have a new sponsor for our channel. So I'm going to play a quick video for that, and we'll get back to it after that. Hold on. This will be 1 minute.
Every life is full of stories, and we all know someone whose story should be preserved. That's what an audio memoir is. A record of you or your loved one's life stories, family anecdotes, and poignant memories. We will talk online and then edit the recordings into episodes, accompanied by family photos and contemporaneous images of the past, creating an enduring audio-visual experience. Links can be shared with friends and family, both near and far, who will delight in hearing their loved ones' priceless stories in their very own voice. For the participant, this can be a touching, nostalgic reflection. For friends and family, a unique and precious gift in the present, and even more so in the future, where their voice, their laughter, their love can always be there. We all know someone who deserves an audio memoir.
So thanks to Audio Memoir for sponsoring the channel, and you can use the code Celtic when placing orders to get a 10% discount from them. So again, thank you for sponsoring and give them a look. So moving on to, like we said, Bologna, I think is anything we get out of that is magic. We'll take it. But the big match coming up is Sunday versus Hearts, league leaders, 6 points ahead. Like we said, they're missing a few guys, and it's when it comes to Sunday, the actual match, I don't know how much take that out of the content. We're missing guys too, and it's going to be a tough place to go to Tynecastle. It is when we're winning the league by 15 points to go there and win. So I guess expectations for the weekend. Chris, how do you think it's going to go on Sunday morning?
I mean, anything short of dropping points. I like even if we draw, that's not the worst result, right? But anything short of that is just like we can't. That's unacceptable. These players know what's going to be expected of them. It's going to be a terrible place to go into. They're going to be up for it, even with their players that are missing. I mean, we've got to win this match coming up. That, like there's no comforting way to say it. That we have to win Sunday if we have any chance at all for winning this league. You know, I don't think that you can be timid going into this match, and I think that's something that's really hurt us. Especially with all of this transition time that we've had from Brendan Rodgers through Nancy till Martin O'Neill again, that we've got to have some fire in our belly, and if we're not ready for that, then I mean Sunday has the potential to be tough for us. So I really like, if I was given a team talk, I would want to give them as much fire in the belly as I possibly can, because, you know, any good result for the season is going to come out of this match.
Agreed. It's gut check time for Celtic.
Absolutely. Squeaky bum.
Yeah. Seamus, how about you? What do you think?
I think it's a must win. I think it's a must win. Anything less than that would be a missed opportunity. I do think Martin's going to have them up for it. I think if we can get this new striker in place, I know it'll be his first match. He probably isn't going to be able to survive more than 60 minutes. He hasn't played a full match in a long time, but just something different. Get back unscathed from Italy, get a training session in under their belts, and just go for it. I think we have to win. Not anything else. A win. So I'm going to go. I think we're going to win. I think Martin's going to have the boys up for it, and I think we're going to win on Sunday.
I do too. But I thought
three of us.
Both other times we played them this year.
And remember,
also, like
and when we got beat by them under Nancy, players didn't know what positions they were in. We had three at the back. It was all haphazard. It was just not a cohesive, team. I think once Martin came in, righted the ship, we didn't lose a game outside of Europe. He's back. I think he's going to have these players up for it. They're going to know what it's going to command to get 3 points at Tynecastle, and I think we're going to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
and if not, then I think it's going to be even that much harder. Then we're 9 points behind.
Yeah,
I think at that point that's a mountain we probably couldn't climb.
I agree. 9 points behind, I think, is done and dusted.
To do it twice in the same season.
Yeah.
To come back from that kind of deficit, I've never seen it. So
yeah.
I think we're going to win on Sunday.
I mean, a draw, I think. There's the possibility of coming back, but again, that's difficult. But I think you need to start it now. And then you're losing to the Tarts three in a row in the season. Then you go in to play them the fourth time, and you're not feeling good about that. So I mean, it's as must win a game as we've had, I think, in a long time, and hopefully they're up for it. And Seamus, like you said, I think probably the most important guy, and he hasn't been that guy this season, is McGregor. Like, McGregor's got to be that guy who is the leader, not just pointing around Like he's got to make those, just take the game by the fucking balls, and he's done that in the past. So you hope he has it in him one more time at least to do it on a Sunday. But so we'll see.
Yeah, we just have to lay down that marker early.
Yeah,
Sunday.
and we have not done that.
No.
Those early goals have been hard to come by for us. The entire season. So it's that would be massive. An early goal there could really stun them. I think stun hearts.
And they're going to drop points. They're definitely going to drop points. Other teams are going to take points off them. It's a matter of us taking our chances and capitalizing on them when we get to play them. We play them 2 more times, 2 more victories. Even if everything stays status quo, we're right there as long as we don't drop any other points. But hopefully we won't.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw up this comment from Scott, and this is, I guess this kind of plays along the lines of the old, we'll spend big once we get into the Champions League. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe that this board will almost ever spend big. But Chris, I'll throw that one to you.
I don't have any faith that the board's going to do anything that's going to be positive for any Celtic supporters. I just I don't. Short of signing a player to come in, the board's in shambles at the moment. It's ridiculous to think that we're in this situation to begin with, and if they come out and spend big, great. We should have seen this last season going into this season. They've screwed it up for a long time. Just like what we've talked about is like they didn't replace Kyogo, they didn't replace Ida, they didn't replace Nicholas Kuhn. And then the embarrassment of hiring Wilfred Nancy, and then all of that bullshit that we just went through. You can endlessly count on the ways that the board has screwed things up this season, and so I've got zero faith in them. Other than I know that everybody and their brother has been calling for players. And if they don't do that, that's a minimum requirement at the moment. Even the thing with Brian Wilson and they were trying to meet to get Section 111 reopened for the Green Brigade. There's been no communication with the board or anything to get that resolved. We need that corner because it makes noise. It creates atmosphere at Celtic Park. And if they can't just meet minimum requirements, then we're not holding their feet to the fire when it comes to the things that matter at Celtic.
I posted on my Twitter or X account the other day. It's January 19th and we still have not signed a striker. I don't understand why someone was not lined up January 1st. We've been calling for it and we've needed it for over a year. Why that business hadn't been done prior, to even have it set up is mind-boggling to me. I just can't fucking believe it. It's ridiculous that we have not signed a striker. It's now January 21st. We have something in the works, but I don't understand why this wasn't number one priority. Have someone in the door, early doors, at the turn of the new year. I've said it again. It's beyond belief. I just can't believe it.
Yeah, and with this Czech guy from Borussia Mönchengladbach, I honestly feel like we're going to be. Whereas people are talking about it's a done deal, it's going to be a loan, and the terms are, agreed upon. It's going to be another 3 or 4 days before they announce it, and then that makes him become unavailable for Hearts. And you know what I mean? We're so fucking slow to get moves beyond outside to identify these players. Once they are identified, and that happened almost. You can throw that into the manager with Nancy. like he was identified, and then it took another 2 or 3 weeks before they actually got him in the door. Like, we're just slow.
Yeah. I mean, there's a process to everything. They need to work
Yeah.
out, terms and all that. This guy agreed to terms. The clubs have agreed to terms. The guy was here for a medical. Like, announce him. I know it's too late now, but he's got to be announced tomorrow before the match.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
you would think. I mean,
It has to be tomorrow morning. Like, I want to wake up tomorrow morning and see him in a Celtic shirt on Celtic TV, having an interview. That's what. And then
talking about what his favorite color is,
and then
what he likes to eat.
It's a big club. It's one of the biggest in the world. We're going to have the same stump speech as we all do. I can't wait to play in front of these fans in this stadium. And we know that it's going to be the same thing. But I just want the guy to go out there, try his best, reignite his career, and score some fucking goals for us, so we can go on and hopefully win this league.
Amen.
absolutely.
Because everyone's frustrations are ready to boil over, and I can't even imagine if we lived in Glasgow or in the north of Ireland right now with all the the Huns around just giving it to us. Like, we don't have to deal with that on a daily basis.
That is
We all have friends and family over there that are like dealing with that stuff all the time. We don't have to deal with that here.
So in terms of the match on Sunday, I was planning on coming down to the Plough, and I might still be able to do it.
We're gonna have 2 feet of snow, so we'll just have to like get our text thread going on Sunday morning with everybody, because we were really looking forward to having a really good crowd on Sunday because it's a 10 o'clock kickoff here.
Yeah,
but the snow, when it came in, when they started building it up, like, nobody's going to get on a regional rail or get on the roads if we have that kind of snow. Like, so that stinks.
My one pal up here, he's like, and he's one of my, you've met him before, Seamus. He was the guy who went at that last Hearts game when he walked in with the red shirt, and he was pointing over at me like, he's like, he told me this was a Hearts supporters club. I'm like, fuck you, I'm not sitting with you, dude. But he's like, because he was going to come down to the Plough with me. He's like, what do you think about Villa, Capri, and Doylestown? Do you think they'll open? Like, I don't even know if we'll be able to get to Doylestown if it's like a foot and a half of snow.
Like schools around here, like, and what I do. I'm administrator at a school district, and like our local district here that we live in, sending out emails already about worrying about the weather next week, like 5 days away, saying we might have to close school Monday and Tuesday next week. Be prepared.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll see. But I'd much rather be watching the match on Sunday than worrying about all this nonsense snow.
Definitely. I'll be watching probably at home now, and in my basement, and trying to stay warm. But so I think the main reason why we wanted to get Seamus on tonight, Seamus is a big part of planning everything that goes around the events at the Féile, at the Plough, coming up in 2 weeks, February 5th through the 8th. And like we said, we talked about a little bit at the beginning, but and we probably just gone overboard. We've been talking about it for the last month, me and Chris. But it's the best weekend of the year for an American Celtic fan.
Magic.
It's, getting to see old friends, meeting new ones who become your best friends. It's amazing. So I don't know, Seamus, I can throw up the
So if you want to throw up that graphic, but I'd be remiss if I didn't want to throw out some shout outs to, of course, Eddie Cantwell, that has helped us through this whole process, setting up this year's Féile. Has been instrumental. Chris Giles, our president, Brian Creech, Rory, Rachel, Gretchen, the entire committee, Mark. There's a lot of behind the scenes goes through trying to put together these kind of events. Getting Tony Hamilton helping us out, reaching out to players, Eddie helping us get contact with Peter Grant and Tosh McKinley and getting them sorted out for us and coming over. We're also going to have John Fallon's son's coming out as a guest of the Plough Bhoys. Brian will be out for the weekend, and we have one hell of a music lineup starting on Friday, 5 o'clock, right out of the gate. The tunes are going to start. So we're going to music Friday night. We're going to mute 3 different Irish acts on Saturday between Jason Lewis and Derm Farrell from Dublin, and then the Bogside Rogues, who never disappoint. They know how to bring down the house. We have Q&As with Tony Hamilton and talk about the foundation and all their great work that they're doing, not only in Scotland, Ireland, and around the world, but also in the U.S. And a Q&A with Peter and Tosh. And we have another special guest. We're going to have Irish dancers. We have a lot of things up our sleeves for this weekend. So it's going to be a really, really fantastic weekend. We had an amazing hotel rate. If you didn't get in, you can still get some great hotel rates here in Philly. And it's one of the greatest cities in the world for foodies. And if you just want to go and have a good time and be around some of the greatest people on earth, that it's going to be a phenomenal weekend.
Yeah, I concur. And I mean, looking the music lineup this year, I feel like might be one of the best that you guys have put out in almost all the years that you've done it. Like I've talked in weeks past, like I'm a Bogside Rogues groupie. Like my friends make fun of me. Like they say I have a crush on Bob Hurst, which is partially true. I liked Bob Hurst with his ponytail back in the day more, but they're amazing. They're down in at the Anglesey Pub tent every year for Irish weekend, and they're just fucking amazing.
Yeah, they're showmen.
Yeah, you like Jason Lewis. I've seen him a few times. Another just plays all the revs. You know, knows some Celtic songs, like, and we don't usually get that. John O'Callaghan from used to be in Jameson, another guy who's just phenomenal. Like, so I love the lineup, and Durham's great too. Like,
Durham will blow the roof off. We tried to get Raymond. Raymond was already booked. To try to squeeze him in somewhere. You never know. I'm gonna try to beat that drum a little bit, and you know. We've been very fortunate with over the years. Stevie Dodge used to come, but we're really happy with the music lineup we have set up, and it's going to be a phenomenal weekend. Like the crack's going to be mighty. It's going to be brilliant.
Can't wait.
So get those hotel rooms booked and get along to Philly. All of our events, no cover charge. This is just a Celtic weekend put on by Celtic fans for Celtic fans. And it's not about, cover charges and all that other stuff. We will be doing some raffles. We'll be doing some, 50-50s kind of thing, raise some money for the foundation and such. But there's no fee, no costs to attend any of the events.
Yeah, it's perfect. Like I said, it's an amazing weekend, and I'll throw up some more pictures from years past, seeing all the flags from all the supporters clubs that are, scattered throughout. I mean, just looking at this picture here on the screen, you got that was probably Stevie Dodds bringing over that one from Galashiels, and the Carney, the first CSC in America. That's the one over there. On the right, I got this one here. One of our people in this program tonight getting stuck in that picture.
Who that is?
And then it's a party that goes from, especially when the match is early in the morning, it just goes all through the day and night. And it's another one. I look really fat in that picture, but that's all right. Me and Chris singing some songs. And then sometimes you need to get away from the bar for a little bit and go to another bar. I think that was the last one we went to.
Yeah, that was in 22.
We went to I think that was when we went to Other Half, I think. Me, Chris, and Sean Kelly from Detroit. So
yeah, we usually like to hit a brewery there.
Yeah. So it's an amazing weekend, and
Well, there's a pub crawl on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that right? Like midday
Old
on
City,
Friday.
Old City pub crawl. I think that's going out at 12:45.
Yeah.
I won't. I'm with me traveling up pretty much up to then. I probably won't be in until about 3 on the Friday.
what do you know what the bars are in Old City? I know last time we did.
No,
like,
no. I don't.
yeah,
I'm not involved. I'm not involved in it. Yeah.
I'll
But
find out.
there's plenty. I think
Oh yeah.
Big Brian's Brian
Okay.
Creech is running that with the boys. So they've done it in the past. The last one they had one, but they went all around the city. This time they're trying to stay more in Old City, so there'll be plenty of places. You pretty much can't walk 10 feet without walking into a pub in Philly, so it's like, it'll be fine.
Oh, totally.
No one's gonna be thirsty.
No. Yeah, I think the last one we did a lot of the Irish pubs. Like we did Con Murphy's was one, and
Black
There was
Taxi,
like a
I think you did.
Black Taxi we did. Yeah. So that was a good one too. All good spots. Probably a little bit further than some of the people wanted to walk that day,
Yeah.
but we made it work. I think we ended up Ubering the way back, but it's an amazing weekend, and I can't wait till it gets here. So
2 weeks.
2 weeks, God.
Yeah, and like the New York boys will be in, the Bronx boys, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Miami, Canada, Ireland, Scotland,
Nashville.
Australia. We've had people from
Nashville,
South Nashville. One year we
Holy-
had people from
Holy City.
South Africa. It was like, where are you from? And we were giving away, prizes to who came the furthest. And, yeah, you never know who's going to turn up. It's like pigeons returning to the nest.
Danny from the Garage Boys, I know he's planning on coming out. He's a good dude. Is Connor coming out?
Daniel will be here. Daniel will be here. He's a former Plough Boy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good dude. We had him on to talk about his the club in Fresno. Yeah, I can't wait. And like I said, looking forward to seeing you guys too, because I mean I get to see Seamus more often than I see Chris. But
yeah, I haven't seen Chris, I guess, since 22.
Yeah.
Since the last one.
for
our 10th anniversary.
That's
So
right.
it'll be good to see you for sure in the flesh.
I'm looking forward to it. First pints on me.
Yeah, so I like Chris is my brother, so I can't wait to see him. I got to see you last year, so it's good. And we went like probably like 5 years without seeing each other. Now we're back more on the schedule of seeing each other at least yearly, maybe sometimes twice a year. So usually based around Celtic events. So Celtic needs to get over here more often so we can.
Yeah, and don't forget to mention Detroit's having a Féile too.
In April. Yep.
In April, so hopefully everyone will come out and support that as well.
Yeah,
we've
been talking about that the last few weeks, and we'll definitely get to particularly right beforehand. And I'm planning on going out for it because I've never been to Detroit, and I always tell those guys, particularly Sean, I love what he does with that club. I think he's done an amazing job in getting that up and running. To make it something big, and he's always trying to build upon it. Like he's just constantly working to make it a better place. So he's a good dude. He was at the last Féile. I don't think he's coming this year, but there are a couple guys from Detroit.
Yeah, Dallas will be here. Jim and Karen Smith, and I think a few others from Dallas are coming. They're always great, amazing people. So.
Yeah, I was wondering about Jim, and he's all.
Yeah, they're coming Thursday.
Every event, almost everything I go to anymore, he's there. Whether it's in New York or South Bend or here, like you'll see him on an odd weekend in Philly too. Like, where I'm here I just show up and there's 10 people in the bar, and one of them's Jim Smith from Dallas. And I'm looking over like, is that Jim? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like here to see Oasis in New York or something like that. I'm like, all right, man. It's good to see you. All right, so I think we'll wrap it up there.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, if you want to stick around, we do a little post-show recap
Okay.
out of the studio if you got time. But if not, no big deal.
Sure.
So, thank you guys for watching tonight. Thanks for getting in the comments. It always makes it a little more fun posting those comments up there and interacting with everything. So the more we get in there, I think the better the show is. So keep joining us there. I think next week we got excuse me, Juco James from the Huddle Breakdown coming back to join us again, and we haven't figured out who our fourth is going to be for next weekend, or next week. So we'll see there. But thanks to Seamus for coming on. Looking forward to seeing both you guys in Philly in 2 weeks, and we will see everybody else next week. Thanks for listening. Hail, hail.
Hail, hail.
You're alive.